Welcome to PodQuest, Episode 8. I am Player 3, Paul English.
Player 2, Kelsy Polnick.
Player 1, Dustin Lyon.
And today we're going to dive deep into the future. So buckle in, we're about to get this baby up to 88 miles an hour, and you're really going to see some shit.
Ooh, I knew where that was going right away.
That's a much better intro.
Thank you. We tried.
Take 4.
Take 4, and we nailed it.
What's this we?
Take 4, and I nailed it.
There you go.
So this week, we're going to do a look forward. Last week we did a look back, the Ghost of Christmas Past. Now we're the Ghost of Christmas Future.
Coolest ghost.
Like
the Reaper.
He was, yeah, he had the chains on him. He was really cool and Scrooged.
Yeah.
With Bill Murray.
That was a really good movie.
That was a one we didn't mention last week.
Mm-hmm.
It was Scrooged.
Actually, it was funny because after we talked about the Christmas movies, it popped up on Netflix. I was like, hey, Scrooged.
Yeah, that's a go-to. Actually, my girlfriend was like, it's not Christmas unless we watch Scrooged. I was like, all right. She doesn't sound like that. I don't know why. And she usually watches these, so I'm probably going to hear about that one.
Yeah, you might want to sleep on the couch tonight.
I have a bad back, so I don't sleep on the couch ever.
You can bleep that all out.
No. TIE Fighter comes across the screen.
So Dustin, as player 1, why don't you lead us into some news?
Well, what about what we've played this week?
Well, I don't usually run the show, Dustin. You asked me to intro it, so you're killing me over here.
All right.
Well, Dustin, what did you play this week?
I played. I bought during the Steam. Actually, I guess it wasn't on sale, but during the Steam sale, I came across the Portal Bridge Constructor game.
Oh, nice! Yeah, very.
And good. I have to say, I quite like it. It's obviously it's a bridge construction game.
Yep.
But with a nice Portal feel to it, because like there actually are challenges where you have to guide a forklift into a portal, which then he's now going Mach 2 down this ramp, and you got to build the catching ramp to hold him, and it's got to be structurally sound to support him, and some other forklifts that are coming along the ways. You got to dodge.
Was that actually Valve developed?
No, I think it's a licensed.
Okay.
But they obviously have support from Valve because Gladys comes in, talks to you, taunts you repeatedly throughout. They have all the sound effects. One of the maps, one of the challenges you have to do, you actually have to protect the forklifts from being shot at, but from a turret.
Wow.
So you actually have to, what was it? You have to guide the forklift to hit a button, which then drops a companion cube on a launcher, and that gets launched across the entire map and knocks out the turret.
I love Portal games. I should probably check that out because I put a lot of time into the first two.
Really like
really
this.
Well done. Yeah.
This one it makes you think because you have to build something structurally sound.
Mm-hmm.
But these are bridges that you would never see in real life.
And I've always liked those bridge building games that you can get on like your phone and stuff like that. Like build a bridge and then support the weight. I like stuff like that. I like those.
Yeah.
Is that a genre? I've never really heard of this.
Yeah, it used to be a genre a couple of years ago. Like
it was kind of like you see like the job simulator games popping up all over. Like the bridge builder was kind of
an offshoot of that.
Yeah, a little niche offshoot game, but this little Portal version of it is pretty fun.
Interesting.
So, been playing that. Otherwise, I've been busy this week with Christmas and stuff, so I haven't really gotten to play a whole lot of other things. Like I did, played a little more Zelda, but I kind of stopped. I only played like maybe a half hour of it, and then went back to playing the Portal Bridge.
Right.
So, how about you, Kels?
Same boat. I was busy with family and work stuff this week. So I got a little bit of Mega Man Legends in with Dustin last week. Hopefully you guys got to check out one of those episodes. I think there's 2 up right now.
They're really fun. Actually.
Yeah,
they're good videos, so I can
an interesting game so far. I'm curious to dig more into that. I'll say that's been more board game stuff with family. We've done some like Settlers of Catan, some card games, some dice games, just quick little things, nothing too in depth. We had a VR set up, but I didn't actually get to play it. My staff played it a bit, my family played it a bit. I haven't got to jump on it yet, so hopefully very soon I can. We're playing some Res Infinite and some Super Hot on it, both of which looked quite fun. So
yeah, you had it set up at the store earlier this week, and I forgot that I played a little bit of that Res. It's interesting how, as you playing it, like the sound is going
building.
with the
Yeah.
game. Like whenever you shoot something, that's when it creates the beat of the sound.
Yeah,
So that was
yeah,
pretty
it's
interesting.
basically like a rhythm game mixed with like an on-rail shooter. Like it's really neat mashup. Paul, what have you been up to?
A little bit of gaming. I was like sifting through the Steam sale. Nothing really jumped out at me. The Portal thing sounds cool. I'll check that out. I picked up The Division. Played like 10 minutes of it and refunded it. It's kind of a dead game right
It's
now.
a few years old too now, like 3
Yeah.
or 4 years old.
And I wanted something I could play with friends that wasn't super competitive. But
I've had a bunch of friends pick up Wildlands recently.
yeah, I've thought
It
about
seems to
Wildlands
be
as well.
A bit
Yeah.
of resurgence in that. And it's pretty cheap now.
I picked up, I can't remember the official title of it, but it's the new Berserk game based on the manga and anime.
Oh,
It's like,
Is that PC only?
no, it might be for PlayStation 4.
Interesting.
It's like Dynasty Warriors,
oh, okay.
and it has like
That's
cutscenes
a
right.
good franchise to mix together. Yeah,
Yeah.
those fit well together.
And it's has clips like right from the movies and stuff like that, and it's done really well. It's kind of mindless because Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah.
But it's super fun if you like Berserk. If you're into Berserk, I really like Berserk. It's one of my favorite animes. Lots of fun.
Really
Bunch of chicken dinners this week. Played poker. Saw a game called. It's either called Terraforming Mars or Mars Terraformer, and it's a board game. And it's like
Terraforming Mars, I think.
and
Yeah,
it's like Catan, kind of. It looks super cool. Like about 2 hours to play it. You obviously have to terraform Mars, and there's like gauges on the board with the temperature of the planet, the amount of oceans on it, and the oxygen levels, and that changes as the game plays. Like what you do changes it. It looks like a lot of fun.
Did you run into Arnie?
My name's not Quaid.
Get your ass to Mars.
Last Moss 2 weeks. I could go on about that movie. That could be a pod quest in itself. Paul talks
next
Total
episode.
Recall. Yeah. Not much else. Played a bit of Ultimate Chicken Horse on Steam.
What is that?
What is that?
Very fun multiplayer game where you pick a weird, cute little animal that you play as, and the physics are kind of floaty when you run.
Oh, wait. I think I know what you're talking about.
And there's a starting point and an end point, and then you and your friends, there's like a wheel that generates, and the wheel has different mechanics to add to the map. So it's like a plank to jump on, a saw blade that will hurt you, arrows, like a whole bunch of different things, and you place them. Barbed wire, you place them around the map.
Mm-hmm.
You have to try to place them so you can get across the map, but also place booby traps so other people can't get across the map. And it's whoever gets across the map first gets a certain amount of points, second, third. If nobody makes it, no points are divvied up.
Right, and then the next round happens, and you guys do that all over
Yeah,
again.
and then like round 1 plays out, and then round 2 you place more stuff. Round 3 you place more
Okay.
stuff. Round 4, it's
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
I've seen that on a couple of videos before. It seems like it's quite the couch co-op kind of
It's
game to play.
Lots of fun. Me and my friends will play it every once in a while, and we really, really enjoy it. Injustice 2 is still like $50, so I'm like, I want to buy it, but I'm just waiting to see.
What's your price point? 30?
Yeah, probably 30. I don't know.
If you wait too long, you're probably going to get Injustice 3 coming out.
There's a lot of other like Dragon Ball Fighter Z's coming out, so I
Soon,
don't
yeah.
want to spend
It's a few weeks.
even
more for that.
$30 on a fighting game now, and then that game will come out and it's $80.
Right.
And I'll
Right.
only play that game. Like it's
Yeah,
bad foresight to spend money on a fighting game when another fighting game I'm really looking into is coming out.
Mhm.
Yeah, why play a game for a week and then never touch it again?
Yeah. You know, I probably would get a lot of play out of Injustice, or even Tekken's $30 right now, I think. Tekken 7, but Dragon Ball Fighter Z will probably eat up a lot of my time. Been
Mhm.
watching a lot of Dragon Ball Abridged again. Got back into
Ooh.
it. They released a new Christmas special.
I
on
watched
Christmas Day.
the Christmas special. I wasn't
It
was okay. It wasn't on par with their usual stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't. I went back and watched all the movies that they've done, and yeah, they're so much better than.
Which one's your favorite movie that they've done?
I really like The Return of the Revenge of Cooler.
Yes. Yes,
It's
I
really good.
I love the one with Metacooler.
Yeah, it's really good. I also just like that movie in general. I think it's kind of fun. The Dead Zone movie, just because it's my favorite of the normal run of Dragon Ball movies. It was really well done. And the Super Android 13 was fun too.
I like the abridged stuff. I really love the cooler one, and I love the Brawly one, because the Brawly one, they have so many nods to so many ongoing jokes throughout their abridged series. So those guys do some good work. It sucks because I wish that I thought that they were going to bring out their like 1 hour Cell finale.
I think they have. I want to say they've been having some problems with copyright infringements.
They did this year. They did have a couple times because they were like gone for like 4 months. Or Kelsy, you really got to fix this place. It's just falling apart.
I don't know when we're gonna see that. They've really stalled out on their channel.
Yeah,
which is unfortunate. A new OSW review came out. If you don't know what OSW review is, it's Old School Wrestling Podcast, and it's 3 guys from, I want to say, Ireland, and they reviewed like every single pay-per-view when Hulk Hogan was really popular, and would tell the backstory of everything that was going on. So there's a lot of like interesting trivia, super funny moments, and how Hulk Hogan was like a really horrible person to work with, didn't really like help anybody's career bloom. He just like, they're doing really well, I need to fight them and destroy them. Which is funny because wrestling's fake. Me and Kelsy just had this conversation. It's really funny. If you have ever at any point had any interest in wrestling, I suggest checking it out.
I'm trying to see how you went from Dragon Ball Z to wrestling, but I think it's because the champ sitting on the sideline. What's his name? Oh, Mr. Satan.
Mr. Satan. Well, just because it was podcasts that I watched on Christmas Day. They both came out Christmas Day. They were good. And that's about... I've had a few late nights. We did poker last night, which was late. I did Star Wars RPG the night before. The night before that, we were up playing PUBG till about 2:30. So then I can't sleep after that. So then I've been watching old episodes of Star Trek. I watched the one with Gary Mitchell. I watched Space Seed. Yeah, they've been really good.
You've been just living it up, man.
Big week.
It's been like I am very sleep deprived because it's like 3:30 go to bed, wake up at like 8 o'clock, and just go all day.
I'm the one with kids, and I've been in bed before 9 like every night this week.
What's going to happen is as soon as this podcast is done recording, Paul's is going to go...
Oh, you'll get a game out of me. We'll record a game. and then I'm probably going to go home.
That's funny. Well, then why don't we move on to news then, since that's all caught up on our weekly stuff.
Yeah. It's really hot in here.
Not a lot of big gaming.
Comfy.
There wasn't a lot of big gaming news this week. Yeah. I was doing some research, and all I could find was everyone's doing like their bests of 2017.
Yeah.
Best games, best movies. I was like, I just want some news.
A lot of hype for Divinity 2. Lots of people are saying that's a good game this year. A lot of independence, stuff like that.
Yeah, I've heard good things. Listen to whole US Gamer has a podcast called Axe of the Blood God, and they just talk about RPGs specifically. And they did a big Divinity episode, and it was awesome hearing about it. Yeah, very, very interesting game. It sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I have a friend who's like, every time I'm like, yeah, we should get a better like co-op game where we can just like mindless. He's like, Divinity 2, Divinity 2. I've already played through it. You want to play through it again, Divinity? I'm like, So I don't know why I'm hesitant to pull the trigger, but
yeah, it sounds fun.
Yeah, it does. Looks good.
Well, let's get back into the news here. So the first, you guys like to sidetrack sometimes a little bit.
Me and Kelsy,
we gotta pad this episode. There's no news.
It's gonna be a short episode. The first news thing that I came across, and it's kind of sad, that a 28-year-old was shot and killed by police after someone had put in a swatting call on them.
Those things are...
did you know about swatting before this?
I did hear about this. Swatting for
a few years. Yeah.
Really?
Swatting, for you listeners and viewers don't know what it is. Essentially it's a prank where somebody pretends to call in some sort of crime in progress and gives a false location as to where they are. Usually I've seen it done on like from videos of like streamers and stuff who's just sitting there playing Call of Duty or something like that, and they end up, annoying another player, or they have like some sort of gambling match between the two of them, and someone doesn't pay up, so they actually call the cops on them and pretend to stage like there's a hostage situation going on. And there are videos that you can find of a streamer just sitting there minding his own business, and suddenly the door gets kicked in, and here comes the SWAT team arresting him.
Yeah, if you YouTube it, you'll find a bunch. It's pretty crazy.
And like people, people are like, oh, they're laughing and it's funny, but it's a very serious offense.
Yeah,
like it's a very serious thing that you're wasting police time on something that you shouldn't be wasting it on. Well, and this one unfortunately cost somebody their life.
Yeah, as this article
possibly two people, because there's another guy in prison now, the guy who called the police, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a joke to play with the police, especially the SWAT. The SWAT is there to act on, scary. It's a scary concept. I'd never heard about it before, and I was laying... I read the news last night. I was laying in bed, kind of getting ready for sleep, and I decided to read it, and I was like, going through the article, I'm like, this can't be real.
But it is. Isn't real. It's very much a real thing. Yeah. I'll read you the details here. This is off of the Compete website for Kotaku. So, a 28-year-old man was shot and killed by Wichita police after a reported hostage situation call last night. At a press conference in the afternoon, Wichita police said it was a false call meant to draw SWAT officers to the scene, an act known as swatting. It appears to have been linked to an argument over Call of Duty, though police have not confirmed that. But there was later on in the article that there was the screenshots of their tweets going back and forth between the players. Apparently this was over a $1.50 Call of Duty wage game. So I guess each player betted $1.50 and one player refused to pay up.
Those Call of Duty players got to get their Mountain Dew money.
Yeah. So the last update that we seen of this for earlier this morning, actually, the Los Angeles jail services confirmed that they have arrested a 25-year-old in connection with the swatting incident. So that's going to be a interesting little trial.
Before that escalated, like, that's been going on for at least 5 years now, feels like.
Call of Duty players, scum of the earth.
Well, it's all over. The swatting thing's a whole bunch of different games, not just to
Call of Duty. It's probably Call of Duty, Rainbow Six.
I think a lot of them were Counter-Strike, if I remember right.
Fits the MO. I was playing Rainbow Six this week, and you run into people like that all the time. They're just like so angry about this game and just going crazy about it. And you're like, just calm down. Like, it's not a big deal. But it is to a lot of people. A lot of young, and it's probably like those two people that phoned in. How old are they?
Well, this one said this one was a 25-year-old.
Yeah, like I could see teenagers pulling stupid stunts like that, but when you're 25, you should know better. There should be more thought more thought process in your actions, but it's the world we live in.
So, yeah.
Like, just imagine if Yuri did that one time.
I don't know that he'd know how to do that yet. Like,
well, let's say when he grew up and he was 16 and you got a phone call at work and it's like, this is what happened. Like, that would be...
Someone's arrested for calling the SWAT team.
Like, man, come on. I don't know about you guys,
parenting failure at some point there.
Yeah, I would have got extremely reprimanded as a youth for doing something like that.
Mm-hmm. So I guess essentially the lesson here obviously is
don't be
it's just a game. It's just a game. Mm-hmm. Let it go. Let it slide.
It's $1.50.
Don't you dare waste emergency services time because you're pulling them away from something that somebody's could
life.
Be
and threatening lives. Yeah.
And what you didn't mention. Oh, there's a spider in here. What you didn't mention was. So one player gave the other player an address of somebody that just a complete random stranger. Like, the address that he gave wasn't his own. Mm-hmm. So then they sent it to some guy and the police got there.
The person who got, that's right. The person who got shot and killed was essentially an innocent bystander.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't even involved in this match at all.
So the police showed up and they were like, get on the ground. He got on the ground just fine. Then he reached down to his waist and an officer shot him, and that's even worse.
Yeah.
That's worse than it being like, here's my address, come do something about it. It's like, here's somebody else's address that I don't know. I just pulled it off of Google or the internet or something like that. Then the guy sent it to them, and that's horrible. That's so bad.
Yeah, the article does go in that the officer in question too is on paid administrative leave. So,
and like, there's obviously, this is getting into weird territory because it's terrible that a police officer shot an innocent person. But when you have a call, like, I don't necessarily want to get into the details of the call.
Probably better not to get into the details.
But it's pretty intense what the person said was happening at the location. So for an officer to go there with drawn weapons, looking for the worst, and a potential perp that has committed these crimes reaches to their waistband to act on their training. And a lot of people are like, oh, it's bad training, they're not trained well enough. It's like, well, like,
sometimes that heat of the moment is...
It's, it shouldn't happen, but, the police are there to do a job, and everybody makes mistakes at their jobs. I don't know how to make this sound good. Like,
no,
it sounds...
you have, like, 1 to 2 seconds to make a decision, and if you make the wrong one, like... Either way, like, if the guy had a weapon there and he didn't act, like, it could have been worse the other direction.
We're throwing blame in the wrong direction if we're throwing blame at the police.
No, I don't fault them. There's
a lot of comments on those things that are like, oh, the police should have done a better job. It's everybody's fault, but the police, blah, blah, blah.
No, like, me in my opinion, this is more of a jab at why are you taking this game so seriously that you'd have to call in a fake squad.
And then the other
call.
thing, too, things that we've talked about on this podcast is this what we want gaming to be known for?
Yeah.
Like, this is the news that's going to come out, and people are going to be like, oh, those gamers, just a bunch of...
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah.
Sad news.
You really bummed me out. This news really bummed me out, man.
Do we have someone happier to wash our mouths with this?
I do.
I hope you do, because...
I hope it's about loot boxes.
No, I'm not going to... we could... Apple Store, for all their apps, now give you the odds of what you can get on their loot boxes. Which isn't a big bit of news. It's just
I think that's
Dustin...
a pretty big news. It's been all over every news site for the last couple of months.
I feel like it's just kind of Apple trying to put their foot in the door, kind of to like.
I'm glad somebody's starting to do it.
Well, they're just trying to do like a nice PR face kind of thing. Like it's
not just nice PR.
Yeah, like look at me,
functional information that helps us make informed decisions to what we're buying too.
That's I'll agree on that. It's to me it's a weird timing that now all of a sudden they come out. Like they could have come out and did this way earlier.
They're probably reacting to the Battlefront and Destiny stuff that's been going on the last couple of months, but better late than never.
Yeah, and they're paving the way, I guess, suit. Too. So yeah. Some happy news, some random obscure news.
Okay.
Over 39,000 people watch Overwatch director Jeff Kaplan sit in front of a fireplace for Christmas Eve. So people watched it and confirmed that it wasn't a loop because he had like a whole bunch of different mannerisms, stuff like that.
Right.
Apparently it went on for hours. I just think that's kind of funny.
So this was just essentially just a big troll? Just like
a fun thing that the Blizzard...
Well, no, originally it was an empty chair. And people were tuning in to watch the empty chair. Then he came and sat down in the chair. And people were just like, oh, it's Jeff Kaplan. Ah.
So I'm wondering from the perspective of people who came across it, like players and stuff, that they must have seen that. Were they thinking that he was going to do some sort of Overwatch announcement or something?
Yeah, that probably could have been a big part of it. Yeah.
That's because that's what I'm thinking. Like this is just a big Christmas troll.
They're looking for like Easter eggs hidden in the
background
or something.
Oh, if you look at how the flame coming out of the fireplace, it confirms that there's a new fire
character.
Didn't
he have like a book and like an eggnog and everything on the side? So a bunch of people are trying to come up with theories about what he was reading or something.
Yeah. Eggnog. Maybe it's some egg-based.
It's Dr. Eggman in the new Overwatch.
They got the rights to what was the egg villain in the like 1960 Batman live-action show?
Vincent Price.
Egghead.
Egghead, yeah.
Maybe they got the rights to Egghead from DC Comics. That'd be amazing.
It would be.
Excellent. Execute him. Oh, that was a good character.
I'm assuming that character had a lot of egg puns.
That's all he said.
That's all he said. He'd be like, excellent.
He had
eggs
like the
secured to
skin
him.
cap on and everything.
And he was like painted pasty white, and he wore a
Yeah.
white suit with a yellow lapel.
Did
So
he
with
did
that
he like
yoke.
capture Batman and like say, you know, we're gonna scramble you? Or,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I hope you like your eggs sunny side up or
Yeah.
something.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That show had a lot of like Bookworm, King Tut.
Yeah.
That had some really oddball.
Pretty sure
characters.
that's what Arnold based his Mr. Freeze off of.
Probably.
Those kind of
Yeah,
characters.
probably.
The people say that they absolutely hate that Batman movie. I love that
funny.
Batman movie for Arnold. I
So
love
funny.
his puns in that.
Yeah, it's good for the wrong reasons. It's one of those
Yeah.
movies. Like it went so far
It's
past
so
10,
bad that it's
so-
good.
yeah. Went so far past 1, it came back to 10. Like,
And like people didn't like the like Batman Forever. I love that one. I love Jim Carrey in that one.
That one I have a hard time with.
yeah, that one's
A
not
real
as
hard
good as.
time. Yeah. I'm with you on Batman and Robin, but I don't know about Forever. I love the game. I played a lot of the game.
I like the theory that Batman and Robin is. So, like, the first 3 Batman movie happen in the same universe, and then somebody, like the Batman Legends, so they made a movie about Batman in the movie. It's like a movie
Wait,
within the movie.
so Batman and Robin is a Batman movie within
A
the
Batman
original
movie.
3.
Yeah.
Huh.
And that's why it's like the world looks so different. It's so like over the top and crazy.
Yeah, I could
Like,
I
was
could
like,
see
I
that.
read that theory and I was like, man, that's a beautiful theory. Like that's really good. I like that a lot.
I love fan theories.
Yeah, me too.
Like the fan theory, like Ash in Pokemon's actually in a coma this entire time. That's why he's still 10 years old. Stuff like that. The Five Nights at Freddy stuff.
Yeah, that's
So
really good.
many theories in that one.
So I think that's it for news.
Yeah, nothing
That's all
you
I
came
got.
across?
No, been a pretty dry week, which is expected over Christmas.
Really,
Yeah.
really quick on our last episode. Looking back, nostalgia goggles
Oh,
Has
we had a.
chimed in
Oh,
with
right.
a-
I saw the comment, but I forgot to read it.
with a good
So,
comment.
good
Sure.
comment,
What
yeah.
was our comment?
He only has one game to recommend from last year for us
That we didn't talk
that
about.
we didn't even mention. Prey.
Oh, okay.
I have Prey. I've played the opening sequence of it. And it's a beautiful looking game. I've heard really good things about it, and I've been meaning to play it more. He goes on to talk
the
about
first Prey. I only played because I heard there was a Judas Priest song in it, and so I played like I think it was maybe 15 minutes in. And there's like a jukebox, and it's got the song on there. So I was like, oh sweet, and then I turned it off after that.
Okay.
Didn't get any further.
I love that you bought. I love that
yeah.
you bought a game just to listen to a song within it.
I worked at Rogers Video at the time, so I just rented it
Oh,
with my free rental.
okay.
I didn't have to pay money for it.
Right. Yeah. I recall. I can recall doing that when I was at Blockbuster.
He goes on to say that nothing really coming out next year that he's looking forward to. E3 was super lackluster from all the big companies.
I would agree with
last
it.
year.
It
Nothing
was
really
one of the
came out.
weaker ones in the last few years.
Yeah.
But there's still lots of cool stuff coming out next year. I think if you looked at a list, you'd find a few.
He goes on to say he's really looking forward to Northern FanCon and competing in our Gamer Gauntlet again.
Ooh.
Um,
We'll have to put some good zingers in this year.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
He asked me if I went and saw The Last Jedi a second time. I did. Does it get better with a second viewing? No.
I was gonna say no.
Stays the same or worse?
The things that were glaring become more glaring. Like they stand out more. And the things that I really liked about it weren't as impactful because I'd seen them. So it's just like, oh, that's good.
Was that...
But that's really,
without
really
going
bad.
into spoilers, was that one scene
Yes.
with no sound as good the second time?
Because I knew it was coming.
Mhm.
There wasn't that shock value of it happening. It still looks really cool and sounds really cool.
Yeah.
But it's just like, so like we talked, there's peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
So on a second viewing, because you saw everything that happened, the peaks aren't as high,
Mm-hmm.
and
Valleys dig deeper.
and you pay more attention to the movie. So now all the glaring problems with it are deeper cuts.
Well, usually sometimes too, like when you watch a movie the second time through, like when I, my mother and I were really good at determining like what the end of the movie is before we even get towards like the middle of it. The last time I had a movie that actually threw me for a loop and I was wrong when we got to the end was Now You See Me. was the Magician's one.
Yep.
I won't spoil the ending to that one because actually it's
just about blurted out the ending.
That one's actually worth a watch. But that one there, like, it kept me going. And when I watched it the second time through, I got the hints as to what was the ending. So sometimes a second watch through something will help you find those subtle hints that actually help you figure out the ending of the movie.
I like movies like that.
My wife used to be terrible for doing what you're talking about. Like 20 minutes in the movie, she'd be like, "This is who did it."
It was the butler.
And she'd be right 90% of the time, and it drove me nuts. So I kept telling her, I'm like, just keep it yourself. Stop telling me, because I find it really easy to just lose myself in the movie and not even try to think about that stuff. And just enjoy the story and see where it takes me. But she likes to tear them apart really early and try and figure them out fast.
Yeah, I have that habit as well, but I'll do it silently to myself now, because I hate when I'm sitting in a theater and somebody's like, "Oh, this is what's gonna happen." I do that to Kelsey, but and I also hate comment, like if somebody's sitting there and they're like, "Did you see that?" or "What was happening?" It's like,
don't go in there.
Or watching movies at home, and like if you watch with a group of people and somebody's on their phone and they're like, "Oh, what happened there? Can you explain that to me?" I'm like,
just slap it out of there.
I'm gonna break your phone and we'll never watch a movie together again. Like, why are you watching this? Okay,
Harsh.
I'm a harsh man living in a harsh world. Okay, so
did you do your hope counter like you said you were gonna?
I started to do my hope count, but then I lost track because there was some really bad parts in the movie, and I was like squirming in my chair.
Did your clicker self-destruct?
Yeah, I was like, I got a robotic prosthetic hand now. He goes on to talk to Kelsy. He says that he had the same nicknames in high school, K-Dog and Special K. He spells K-Dog K-D-O-G. I spell it K-D-A-W-G.
Of course you do.
He wants to know, what sort of hair product does Kelsy use in his hair? What exactly is your routine to make it look so damn good?
Just natural beauty. There's nothing in there.
Bjarf?
Ice cream buckets of conditioner.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just use good conditioner. Use the girly conditioner and shampoo instead of the boy stuff. Boy stuff sucks.
Boy stuff does suck.
Yeah.
When I had my long hair, like, your hair would become very frazzled very fast.
Never use a 2-in-1 or anything like that.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
separate.
Take the time, put the time into your hair.
Yeah. Brush it every day.
I have shorter hair, but I do still put conditioner and stuff. I love when it's just like nice and soft.
Yeah. It's, soft hair is nice. Goes a long way.
Yeah, we'll do more glamour tips next time.
Okay. This third question is: your recording studio, is that by any chance a sauna? It is.
It is. Yeah.
Does it get uncomfortably warm in there?
Yes,
Right
it does.
now, it is
Yes.
so warm.
I am very comfortable here almost every single week. I don't know what these guys do differently.
It's
Wearing their long underwear here.
I think it depends on how long we're in here for.
I've never got
Like,
out of
I'm
here
wearing
and
too
felt
close,
uncomfortable.
I think it's so
Like
hot here right now.
like I'm good right now, but like when we were here doing our Star Wars one, when it got so warm that the camera shut off because it overheated. That's saying something.
I still felt fine at the end of that. Yeah. Just keep hydrated, guys.
Gets warm.
Keep
Yeah.
hydrated.
So that concludes our comments section. If you have any comments, please leave them in below. We'll try our best to answer them, put some thought behind them. Like and subscribe.
Yeah. Well,
Check
then,
out all the other videos we have.
Yes, do definitely check out all our other videos. With that, then let's get this baby up to 88 miles per hour and go
See
back
some
to the
real
future.
shit.
Awesome. So with 2018 coming up, obviously there's going to be a bunch of different big game releases coming out. I think the next big ones coming out are Dragon Ball Z Fighters,
January, yeah.
Monster Hunter, which is also
January.
the same day, and there was something else that was also coming out on the same day, and I can't remember what it is right now.
List here.
That's weird that they're doing that. They did that in October with like it's like what, Wolfenstein, Assassin's Creed, Mario. Like 3 big ones the exact same day. That's very bizarre.
It's kind of annoying because you're just like, I have enough money to buy one game.
Yeah.
Now I got to
Yeah.
pick out of these 3. Oh no.
So lay it or move it up a week. Like separate yourself a little bit.
Street Fighter V Arcade Edition, Digimon Story, and Kirby Battle Royale for the 3DS
Ooh, Digimon Story.
are coming out this month. Dragon Ball Z. That game and Monster Hunter, like 2 games
Yeah.
that I'll
Yeah,
probably end up picking up.
Those are probably the big 2. I would put a nod into the Digimon story because I have the first Cyber Sleuth one that I forgot. I haven't finished it yet, but I really like it because it's like it's almost like Pokemon, where it's like you have 3 different Digimon that you travel with, that you battle with, but you could still evolve them, de-evolve them up and down. And so, like,
Can you replace them with other ones that you kind of Pokemon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. I'm trying to
It's
think.
been probably 15 years since I played a Digimon game.
Yeah. For me, it's a nice nostalgia trip because it was like, oh, hey, we have, War Greymon, and you can get Omnimon, which is like the fusion between him and the other one. I'm like, those were like my favorite when I was growing up watching Digimon.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, that, like, actually, even to this point,
Franchise
even though,
disappeared for a long time, too, before that Cyber Sleuth one came out.
Yeah. What was the name
even
of
for
the big
me,
lion with the sword?
Leomon,
Yeah. I love Leomon.
it's something Mon.
Rhino.
Yeah.
It's
Thundercats.
Yeah. Rhinomon.
But for me, I think now I'm thinking back to that game, I probably consider it done for me. Like, I should probably go back and finish the game, but because I got the achievement of unlocking the Digimon that I wanted, I feel like I've completed it.
You did your quest. Finished Dustin's quest.
Yeah, I finished my quest. I got Omnimon.
That's fair.
But I would definitely look forward to the next one that's coming.
I wasn't as interested in Monster Hunter until we did that beta play. That was so much fun.
Mhm.
More than I thought it was going to be. Because I've played a bit of the Monster Hunter Try, and it was okay. This one was a blast. So I might look into picking that one up, but Dragon Ball is, I think, the clear front runner for me right now.
Oh,
for January.
speaking of which, on the Dragon Ball part, I found out, because this will be something that Kelsy might not like, the collector's edition of Dragon Ball Z Fighters that comes with like the statue and everything, doesn't come with a season pass.
That's a good thing.
But
I don't want to.
They have one of the regular editions that you can only get at EB Games. Does come with the season pass.
I don't like digital content. I don't pay money for it, so
I just found it funny that this huge special edition doesn't have it included.
It's weird that it wouldn't come with everything that everyone else could get, but that doesn't affect my purchase specifically.
What about you, Paul? What are your thoughts on that? I know you don't like special editions to begin with, but
with this game, with Kelsey's, I'm tired. With Kelsey's excitement about Dragon Ball Z, Fighter Z,
And just Dragon Ball Fighters.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
No, there's a Z on the end of Fighters, isn't there?
Dragon Ball
it's not
Fighter
Space
Z.
Z though.
No, it's not.
hang on, I'll look it up.
It's Fighters.
Yeah, I think it's just Fighters.
It's Dragon Ball Z.
The name bothers me, but everything else about the game looks.
It's
really
Dragon Ball Z Fighter Z. Without, like, you're gonna need to get a season pass to play the game.
That bothers me so much that every fighting game is doing it now.
It is Dragon Ball Fighters Z.
Is there a space?
There are spaces in between.
Okay.
So it's Dragon Ball Fighters Z.
Dang, I hate it when Paul's right.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
And then now we're gonna get people going, it's Dragon Ball Z. No, we're Canadian. It's Z. Dragon
My
Ball
mom
Z.
was American and she's a teacher, so I still say Z.
Yeah.
I still say Z all the time too.
Yeah.
So
It's not Dragon Ball Z. It's Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, it just sounds weird. I can play for a couple months before they start losing me.
I don't know. It bothers me because it's going to... Because eventually when I get fed up with the game, because I can't spend enough time on it like everybody else, I can't keep up with the curve, and I can't play it. I've wasted my money on all this season pass content, and it's like with Street Fighter, it drove me nuts. So, I don't know. I don't know.
I probably am gonna go pick up the edition that has the built-in season pass, because then that way I get all the characters automatically.
Does it have any cross-platform capabilities, this game? Do we know that yet?
Not that I know of yet.
I don't think so.
I think the only game right now that has any cross-platform is Rocket League.
Yeah.
Because they confirm. Because Does Street Fighter 5 have it now?
Yeah, PC to PS4. I usually don't count PC when I think cross-platform. I thought you meant console specifically.
No. I mean, PC.
Because with Rocket League you can play cross-platform between
Xbox,
Switch, Xbox, and PC, and I think you can now do PlayStation to PC only. I can't remember 100%.
Weird.
Yeah. Dragon Ball Z is probably... It's one of the games I'm looking forward to the most. There's a lot of games on this list that I'm looking forward to talking about. I'm so tired.
I'm trying to also think like what else is upcoming later in the year, because we don't really have a whole lot of game announcements yet. But there's like a few that I can think of right now.
Yeah.
There's the what is it? The Blaze Blue Cross Tag game.
Yeah.
Another fighting one that I love, that they have
the Persona characters and the Ruby characters.
And the Ruby characters. Yeah. I think that's that for me, that was like, I saw the Persona characters, I'm like, okay, well, I at least hope they could throw like a Persona 5 character in there. But then when they announced like
they will.
Ruby Rose in there and Wai Shni, I was like, okay, I'm gonna look. That's her name. Wai Shni.
It makes me think of Shmi from Hook.
Shmi.
What about some of the like really big ones? Like Kingdom Hearts 3 is supposed to come out next year,
3?
and that's been in development for like.
It's supposed to come out.
Yeah, I don't think it would surprise anyone if it got delayed one more year. But
what's gonna
Shenmue 3?
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it now. When they get close to the Kingdom Hearts release, they're gonna go, okay, we have to delay it another month or two. Yeah. And people are gonna be up in arms, going, oh.
I cannot imagine Shenmue 3 coming out next year.
I can't either.
I feel like they haven't showed enough of it yet to demonstrate that it's in a playable state, that it's got to take another year in the oven.
Yeah, I think so too. It'd be interesting. I like Shenmue 1. I never played 2, but Shenmue was an awesome game.
I couldn't get into it. I played about 10 hours of it and just didn't catch me.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun playing it. The new Red Dead game's coming out.
I know that's going to be a big one, but Rockstar games just don't.
Yeah, I'm big into stuff like that. Like the first 2 Red Dead games I was really into. I was really into, obviously, all the GTA games, so I'm really excited for that one.
There's Bloodstained Ritual of the Night.
That one, I have 2 copies already. Like,
did you get a Kickstarter?
Yeah.
Wow.
They were supposed to be Wii U, but that got canceled, so they bumped me up to the Switch.
Oh, cool.
So whenever that comes out, I have 2 copies coming out. I'm very excited about it.
I'm assuming one's going to stay sealed.
Yeah, they're both the special edition ones. Yeah.
I was hoping maybe I could buy one off you.
We'll talk when they show
Okay. Because I missed out on the Kickstarter. Like, I know there's still a couple websites that you can. It's not really buying into it, but you can. But I'm like,
well, if it's like every other Kickstarter, you'll be able to buy it before I get my Kickstarter copy. You can
that's true.
Buy one, then I'll get it a month later.
But then you usually get all the good stuff, because like my buddy Morgan got in on the Shantae Half Genie Hero Kickstarter.
Yeah.
And like he's supposed to get like exclusive like blue clothes for Shantae, because that says that you have the Kickstarter version stuff.
Right.
I missed out on that Kickstarter by like a week. When I found out about it, I was like, oh, I should go check this out. And I went to go look at it. It's like, oh, that was last week. I'm like, no. And I missed out on it. So it sucks.
I've all the things that I've kickstarted, which probably about half a dozen now. Bloodstained's easily the one I'm the most excited for. It's going to be good.
Cool.
Let's see what else we got.
Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah, the remake's looking solid.
Secret of Mana.
Real good.
Oh, yeah. Secret of Mana.
Mega Man.
I think I might have gotten the pre-order for Secret of Mana.
Oh, nice.
Because
it was gonna be limited, you said.
Yeah, because it was. I think we talked about this a podcast a little while back.
Yeah,
it's a limited release of the physical copies.
Yeah,
and I think I got a hold of a physical copy, like a pre-order for one.
Nice.
So even though I have never really played Secret of Mana, but I know since it was such a big game for the Super Nintendo, and if this is just a full like HD remake of it on PlayStation, I'm actually interested to play it.
Yeah, it's gonna be really good. Mega Man 11.
I'll end up getting that.
Yeah, I'll play it. I'm not excited about it, but I'll play it.
I'm excited about it. Even though it looks like garbage, I'm sure it'll play really good. And if the music's there, that usually helps pick that game up a lot.
Street Fighter 30th anniversary.
I'll be getting that.
Did you guys see MechWarrior 5?
Yeah, my friend.
Did you do another MechWarrior?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
I saw a gameplay of it because I believe it's on IGN's website that they have like the first like 10 minutes or mission stuff. It's actually returned to like the original MechWarrior style, where like you're in the cockpit the entire time.
Yeah. My friend that came to visit me for Christmas works on that team.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's one of the like lead developers on it.
Nice.
He worked at Amazon, the guy that worked at Amazon briefly.
What company's making MechWarrior right now?
Piranha.
Okay.
They're who run MechWarrior Online as well right now.
Interesting.
I have to say though, like the video that I saw of it looks awesome.
Yeah.
Like it was a video of they're walking around in a Titan mech, and they're on Mars or something, and they're destroying this installation, but you can hear the little computer voice where it's like, enemy detected, kaboom, enemy destroyed.
That's sweet. That's sweet.
It's a neat franchise to revive.
Dragon Quest Builders on the Nintendo
I thought
Switch.
you were going to say a different thing about Dragon Quest.
There's another Dragon Quest coming out this year. Yeah.
Builders was actually decent, though. So 2 hopefully is decent as well. I'll probably get it for my son at some point.
Another Yakuza game, which I'm not really into.
Those have been coming back in a big way this last couple of years.
Yep.
Real big.
Because the first one was like 2005, maybe?
The first 2, like, I don't remember anyone talking about.
The first one had a lot of hype, from what I remember, but Valkyrie Chronicles 4.
That's super exciting.
The first one was so good.
So good.
Yeah. Attack on Titans 2 could be good. It's got a big following.
Yeah.
You
played the first one.
I have the first one. I've only actually played like 10 minutes of it, but
okay.
I have the first one of it. It was actually done really well because it's still like not open world, but like you have a large scenario world that you're working in, and you actually do like launch yourself up, jet up, attack the Titans right at their neck and stuff. So
I've seen people play it.
It's a beautiful game.
Does good justice to the show
because it's done by, I think, the guys who do the Dynasty Warrior series. What's their name?
Is it Koei Tecmo?
Yes. Yeah, it's done by the Koei Tecmo guys.
There's a new Dynasty Warriors coming out.
Of course, there's always several of those every
Devil
year.
May Cry HD collection.
It hasn't been officially announced, but there's so many rumors that Devil May Cry 5 is going to come out this year too, which should be
pretty
awesome.
Which supposedly is supposed to be a return to the original Devil May Cry, right?
Yeah.
It's not the DMC one.
No. You get gray-haired Dante that loves pizza and shooting things.
Yeah.
Nice.
Far Cry 5.
Same thing. I get some friends who are super pumped on that. It's just not for me.
Yeah, I didn't really play a lot of it, and a lot of people
They made me play through 4. So I've actually put a decent amount of time into that one and finished it and done a lot of the extra stuff. It is so boring. I don't understand the appeal of it.
I only played Blood Dragon because it's like an
Blood Dragon
80s
looks like
action
the coolest version of that game by far.
There's a Metal Gear Survive coming out, which is the first foray into the Metal Gear Solid
I'm gonna
series
wait.
without
I'm gonna wait for some more details to come out on it before it come out.
Yeah.
It sounds like it'd be interesting because I feel it almost felt like a almost like Lost Planet kind of feel to it.
Was he involved with Revengeance?
No.
So
it was his, like, obviously his.
I know Platinum did that one, but I wasn't sure if he had much.
Actually, he must have, because wasn't he still with Konami at the time?
Story
I just don't know how involved he was with development.
Was his, but like none of the other development. So like they had to.
Well, that's normally what he does, right? He hires teams that do the gameplay stuff, and he just likes to write and direct.
Call of Cthulhu. I don't know what that
is. That no? Just wait, go back to that one.
Isn't that a
because there was an
game?
Xbox game that was amazing.
Yeah.
Was that the same?
I don't know.
What consoles is that for?
Windows, PS4, and Xbox.
Interesting, because that was Bethesda. Is that a Bethesda game? Does it say?
Cyanide. Unreal 4. Role-playing survival horror.
Okay, that's different than this one. Was like a first-person shooter survival horror.
Yeah, I remember that game.
Yeah, it had really cool sanity effects. Like when you were getting hurt, you had to actually like splint your leg, and like you could shoot adrenaline in there to run through the pain. And
cool.
To go back to your the question on the Metal Gear Rising with Vengeance, this is on Wikipedia. It says that the game was originally developed internally by Kojima Productions when announced in 2009. However, the team met with difficulties developing the game based on swordplay, so executive producer Hideo Kojima postponed its development until a solution could be found. Then it was resurfaced with Platinum Games.
Okay, so he
did have a start
that.
on it. Yeah. So I guess you could technically say that he did work on it.
Yep, I'd count that.
The Cthulhu game actually sounds pretty cool from the rundown I just read about it.
Yeah,
I like Lovecraftian.
Yeah. Get the weird psychological effects and the really disturbing imagery and stuff out of those.
Crackdown 3, which
I have some friends that are so excited for that. It's insane. Like that's their most anticipated game in the last few years.
Bayonetta 1 and 2 for the Switch.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll find out more about 3.
There's not a lot of
come out this year.
Really big Switch titles coming out.
Oh yeah, there is. There's Kirby, there's Yoshi, there's Fire Emblem, Shin Megami Tensei
Fire Emblem
5 is possibly coming out this year.
But I mean, like, because Zelda and Mario came out this year, big titles.
No one
Big titles
knows
for
what
Nintendo.
Retro's been working on, so I'm assuming that's going to be announced and released this next year.
Yeah,
Is my assumption.
Well, there's also like we had this year confirmed that Metroid Prime 4 was in the works.
Yeah, there's no way that comes out this year though. Next year would be the earliest, I think, and even then, it's probably
Who's to say? Maybe they had been working on it, but they decided not to show anything and just did that little teaser.
That'd be
image.
amazing. And they have been doing stuff that's out of character lately, so I hope that happens. I don't anticipate that happening.
I'm thinking of like the Switch's release cycle because, like you said, they've already got Mario and Zelda done.
Yeah.
So what does that leave for the major Nintendo properties? Kirby,
Yeah.
Yoshi,
Both
which
of
could
those
be
we
a
know are coming
Nintendo.
out.
What,
we know
what
they're
kind
coming
of
out.
Yoshi game is it? Is it another like
it's like a yarn one.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. That was a cool game.
Yeah.
What else? Metroid series, obviously. Like we
Yeah.
know Metroid Prime's 4 in the works, but like Fire Emblem's coming out.
Yep. Which is supposed to be a main series one, not
Like,
a
I'm trying to
spin-off
think
like
any
Warriors.
other major Nintendo series that we haven't gotten that's like nothing new.
We haven't seen anything from the Mother series, from Fire Emblem. They still have Star Fox.
Fox.
They don't have a console Animal Crossing on there yet.
Oh, I think that would be the big one.
Especially with the mobile app that
There's
just came
something
out.
else. I
Because
was reading.
there was the rumor that somebody confirmed that the mobile apps always preceded some sort of game release of the
So
same
far,
game.
yeah.
So because they have the Animal Crossing mobile app out, there's probably a good chance that maybe even at E3 they're going to announce some sort of Animal Crossing for the Switch.
They could do Pikmin. They could do Wario game.
But a lot of these games won't be coming out in 2018.
Possibly.
Not likely, but they've been pretty quick, and they're like the only company that can actually keep a game in development secret until they want to reveal it.
That's true. Because
so hopefully they've just been
on the
sitting
Animal
on some
Crossing
stuff.
thing, I think they're releasing a game called Garden Wars. I read something about it, and it looks kind of like an Animal Crossing type game. And I think it's coming out for.
developed by Nintendo though.
Yeah, I think so. Detroit Become Human.
That's one of my big ones. They're probably
Yeah.
my top three.
I'm really looking forward to that. Kind of like a Blade Runner esque.
Did you
aesthetic to
play
it.
Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls?
No, I haven't.
No? They're
Are they really good?
yeah, they're really good. I should lend them to you. They're not long playthroughs either.
Final Fantasy 15 for the Windows. New God of War game for PlayStation 4.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's supposed to be March, it looks like.
Yeah.
You guys play that series much?
God of War?
Yeah.
I played the first two.
I've played 1, 2, and 3,
All the console ones?
all the console ones, and I probably played a demo of one of the the PSP ones, and I quite like them. Like the PSP ones played exactly the same way as the console ones,
Mhm.
and you know it is brutal. It's very brutal, but you know they're still really well developed games.
Yeah.
They're just very linear.
I finished the first one. I played part of the second one and I played it too close to the first one, I think. It was just more of the same kind of stuff, so I burnt out.
Yeah, I can see that you can. It'll be interesting to see how they do this next one because it's
It
more.
looks quite different.
It's supposed to be like more like Norse mythology.
Yeah.
Like is Kratos gonna get like Thor's hammer or something? Or
Yeah.
He's already wielding axes, why not hammers?
Yeah, exactly. Didn't you have a hammer in the first one, I think? Big purple hammer.
I don't remember getting a hammer, but you could switch weapons, right?
Yeah.
I think I
Yeah.
just liked the chain blades. They were cool,
They were
so
the
I
best,
stuck
yeah.
with them most of the time.
oh yeah, because those were the ones that you got off of Hades, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
New Soul Calibur game.
That should
Right.
be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see that one even being pushed out of this year too, though.
Yeah.
All
I
we've seen is
see
that
it.
one video with two characters and like a tease at the end.
For Kelsey's collection, maybe my own collection, Persona Dancing All Nights 3 and 5.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I'll probably go for 5 because the last recent teaser trailer that they had out this week had a quick little tease to like some of the music behind it. I like the dance remixes of the Persona 5 music,
Yeah.
so I might just pick up the 5th one.
I'll probably get them both because I have all the other Persona stuff already.
Right. I think there's supposed to be like maybe it's Japan only right now, but I think there's supposed to be like a special combo pack between the two
I hope they do that. That'd be
that
ideal.
it's just like 2 collector's editions all into one.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Toe Jam and Earl back in the groove.
What?
Yeah.
They're back again?
Something. Fire Emblem game, Untitled Yoshi game.
It's crazy we don't know much about the Fire Emblem yet, and it's supposed to come out this year.
Yeah. Oh, Psychonauts.
Psychonauts
Sequel.
2.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
That first Psychonauts 1 is an
So good.
amazing game.
Yeah.
So good.
I love the humor that's in those games.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
so funny.
They're
And
really well done.
They're challenging too. I remember on the Psycho Circus near the end of the game, having a lot of trouble
Yep.
getting through that level.
And that game, when did Psychonauts come out?
That was like PlayStation
2003,
2 era.
4, like that
Yeah.
was after the Xbox had come out, and I think that was 2002.
And Psychonauts was a really good, like, feel-good carryover from, like, characters of the 90s, like Earthworm Jim,
Sure, yeah.
Sonics and
totally
stuff
in
like
vein,
that.
Yeah. You had some goofy, weird
Well, it's
stuff.
it's a
and art
Tim
style to it.
Schafer game, is it not?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
I like that
that's
one a lot.
exciting. I think we've hit.
We've pretty much
You
hit
didn't talk
the-
about the one I'm most excited about for next year.
Oh boy, here we go.
Which one?
Spider-Man by Insomniac.
Oh,
I
right.
looked at Spider-Man and I was gonna mention it, but I was like,
No, I'm hoping that is like a Batman Arkham series for Spider-Man.
that would be sweet.
And
that
it's
would-
by a really solid studio.
Yeah,
and,
it
and
could-
it doesn't have to follow a movie or anything, so I'm really pumped on
Oh,
this.
I just came across one that I forgot about. Galgun 2.
I saw you playing the first one. That looks really cool.
Oh, it's hilarious. I love that it was such a questionably rated game that they weren't allowed to sell it in stores. You could only buy it online.
Yeah.
But they have a second one coming out for PS4 and the Switch. So I might just
Switch too. This time interesting.
yeah. So I'll have to pick that up.
You're not excited for Spider-Man though?
Oh no, actually Spider-Man I am. I forgot about Spider-Man. If like you said that if it's
Down
played
on
the
it.
same
No,
way
it's
similar to like the Batman,
I don't mean like the gameplay is the same, although it does look very similar in what they've shown.
but
so
I mean
far.
like that love.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
Yeah.
having a company that cares about the character, that's not tied to any specific franchise they have to follow, like a TV show or a movie.
yeah, because
Um,
this one obviously is not going the direction of like Homecoming or anything like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
which
gonna
I'm,
be its
I'm
own
so happy
entity.
about that,
Yeah.
and I hope it does really well for them because I'd love to see like a little trilogy or at least a sequel to it if it does well, kind of like the Batman games did.
Because
Yeah.
Spider-Man's kind of, I guess, similar to. I'm trying to think. I don't want to say it, but it's similar to like Sonic in a way, where like they have like
Ups
okay ups and downs, like
yeah.
decent
Yeah.
games. Like a lot of the Spider-Man games, like Shattered Dimensions and what was the time travel one? Edge Between Time or something.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow?
Edge of Time.
The storyline and everything were really good. Just people didn't like the gameplay of it.
yeah, they looked good too.
And that like
Visually, they looked fun.
Spider-Man was the first superhero game that really got 3D down really well when Spider-Man 2
Yeah,
came out.
that's
The game
right.
was just such a huge game and had this open world you could actually web sling around, and it was like a whole city. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then ever since then, I don't think they've hit that quality again.
Yeah, because they've been very hit and miss on
Yeah.
everything else.
And a lot of people like them still, but they're just
Yeah.
it
And
could be a good game.
Still like one of the most recognizable superheroes in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Like he deserves a good treatment.
Well, was he the first superhero movie without an origin story? Homecoming? I know we've gotten 2 origin stories in like 15 years, but
Could be, yeah, like in Civil War and that. I don't remember them ever really origining.
Well, I think it's because everyone's seen Spider-Man so much because let's see, the original trilogy and the Amazing Spider-Man trilogy both showed the
His-
origin
yep,
of Spider-Man.
yep.
It was like basically like Batman, because like the beginning of Batman v Superman, they show like Bruce's origins again with his parents being killed and stuff.
Yeah.
And like that's one thing people are like, we already know the origin of Batman. You don't need to keep showing us. The same thing with Spider-Man. We already know how Spider-Man got his
Yeah.
powers. You don't need to keep showing us that.
But that being said, I think Homecoming is the first superhero
Yeah.
movie without the.
because we never
yeah,
see it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm almost positive that Warner Brothers will do the Batman movie, and they'll cram an origin down our throats. Yeah, Spider-Man could be good. They have such a good rogues gallery. So many, like, if they drew it out into a series, the first one could end with like the death of Gwen Stacy or something to do with like. There's really big.
Yeah, because
notes you
the
can hit.
last trailer they showed a lot of Peter Parker in high school.
Yeah.
Which was awesome.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
got some story in
Well,
there.
this is the Spider-Man game that we're talking about, the
Yeah.
new one, right?
Yeah.
Because didn't they also show that there's parts that you might play as Mary Jane too?
I don't think I've seen that yet.
I thought that was there's some article or
That'd
some
be
video or
strange.
something that maybe it would say. Maybe
Play
it's
as
like,
Mary
like
Jane.
it's like no, it's like a side quest thing. Like it's like maybe while Spider-Man's busy with something, you take control of Mary Jane, where you're like quickly hiding behind desks trying to get like
Spider-Man's covered
info
in
on these
rubble
villains or
yeah.
something like that.
I don't remember ever seeing that
Yeah, I don't.
in any trailers yet. They had like the one big E3 trailer where he was like fighting some dudes on a construction site, and then there was like the helicopter through the city.
Right.
Yeah.
There's some Kingpin dialogue in there, and then that other villain, I can't remember his name, the Asian guy who could like light his whole body on fire kind of thing. It wasn't fire, it was like plasma or something.
Yeah, this is like a new villain.
Yeah.
Like this is one that they've never had before.
And then the next one they did, I think, was Tokyo Game Show, and that one just had a lot of like Peter Parker stuff instead of Spider-Man stuff.
Oh,
in it.
that's sweet.
Right.
Yeah. Those are the only two big trailers I've seen. I haven't heard or seen
Okay.
anything about playing any other characters.
Yeah, it'd be good.
I just hope there's not too many QuickTime events.
They showed some during the helicopter scene, so people were a little worried.
Because
I trust
I don't like
Insomniac.
it when a game has too many QuickTime events because it's just like, you
God
know,
of War is bad for that too.
God
Yeah,
of War was
God of
bad
War
for that
is-
because then like you have to get used to being in that groove.
Mhm.
Well, also God of War came out in the big quick time event. Boom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like I
It
feel
probably
we kind of
headlined it,
passed it. Yeah. Because Resident Evil 4 had a lot of quick time events.
Mhm.
And,
Well, Resident Evil 4 was more like quickly mash circle as quickly as you can, then dash off to the side, then press X.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
if you didn't know that was upcoming,
Yeah.
then you were screwed.
Yeah, because there was a fight with, I think his name's Kruger at the end, and it's like a knife fight, and it's like you have to do it 6 times because like press A, you got a split second to do it. You're oh, you have to do it over and over again.
Yeah.
Spider-Man. It's gonna be good.
Spider-Man.
It's gonna be so good.
Is that your game of the year? That the game?
That one and Fire Emblem. And if Shin Megami Tensei 5 gets a 2018 release date, that might push both of those out. But I can see that one being postponed.
Mhm.
But the Fire Emblem and Spider-Man are right up there for me, neck and neck.
Well,
Yeah. What about
Dustin?
you?
I'm trying to. I think. Well, no, it's Monster Hunter will definitely be a big one.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's gonna be a big game.
I'm curious to see what Nintendo is going to announce
I feel
or
like there'll
show.
be one or two surprises.
There's
this
there's
year.
gonna have to be because
I bet you there'll be a new one, like something like Arms, like where they've just it's totally new thing. Arms Splatoon kind of we're starting a new franchise, and I bet you there'll be an old thing coming back that's exciting as well.
Yeah.
So you think that will be released by the end of 2018?
I do, just because of how strong they came out of the gate for 2017. I think they learned that was a good strategy, and they're going to
most likely what Nintendo will probably do is they'll probably do either announcement maybe the end of February or March. They'll do one of their Nintendo trailers because they always do that towards springtime
Mm-hmm.
to get like some news out the door, kind of get you excited, and maybe have a game released before E3.
I hope they do another thing like they did with Ubisoft too, and like here's another company that we haven't worked with for a long time, like Capcom and Nintendo are doing a big mashup game like the Rabbids Mario
yeah.
thing, or maybe Capcom,
Nintendo
or
versus
Konami and
Capcom.
Nintendo or something like. There's a lot of possibilities there. They could dig deep into some old partnerships and pull something neat out.
But
So-
Nintendo will probably have an announcement, a game that comes up before E3, kind of like in the way like how ARMS did.
yeah,
Then they'll have E3 come out. That's when they'll do their big announcements, and then there will be either a game during the summer, a game during
The
fall,
fall.
and then one for the
bare
holidays.
minimum, they need a big holiday game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
like
something
a Pokemon, like a
November,
Fire
yeah.
Emblem, something.
Even if it comes out end of October, beginning of November, it's still in time for the holidays.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
Pokemon. I know they announced the teaser, but like he specifically said that one was a long way off. Like we just started working, so that one's definitely not this year. I don't think.
But who's to say that it's not regular Pokemon? Because they said they were
They could do
working
an
they
offshoot.
were working on a Pokemon game, but who's to say it's not in the line of regular Pokemon? Maybe we're getting a new Pokemon Snap.
I think that would, as much as I think Pokemon Snap needs to come back, I think they can't do that until they do a main series one on a console first. I think that would enrage people.
I guess that's true.
So talking about Nintendo really quick, do you think because they've said they're gonna do, there's another Zelda in the works. We just got Mario. So do you think we're gonna see a trend of like 2-year releases for games now? So they're gonna do like a big game this year. Let's say it's Metroid. Let's say the next game is Metroid. Will Zelda now be 2019? Mario will be 2020.
Yeah.
I could see them doing that this cycle, like they did, like Majora's Mask, like reuse the same assets because both those games, Zelda and Mario, look amazing still. So I think you could reuse those assets and make another amazing game out of both of those. Maybe they'd stagger them a little bit because those both came out in the same year,
Yeah.
and I don't think you want to do that again.
No.
Maybe keep a Zelda for 2019 and Mario for 2020.
Yeah, you don't want to blow your wad of games like I felt they needed to come out really strong with the Switch, so they did. Yeah, I was just curious about what you guys thought.
Nintendo usually always staggers their stuff too. Like even if you look at Zelda when they got released in certain times, like there was a game for the 3DS one year, and then the next year they had maybe another Zelda game, but it was a completely different Zelda game.
Yep.
And then because also Nintendo has multiple properties too, like you said, that maybe this year we won't see anything Zelda or Mario related.
Maybe it's Donkey Kong this year instead.
Maybe it's Donkey Kong, maybe it's Metroid, and then maybe the next following year, okay, let's get our Pikmin going, let's get a Luigi's Mansion going.
But like,
that'd be cool to revisit.
It would be really cool. But famously, Nintendo kind of comes out hot and has a lot of really big games for their consoles, and they
actually would be
kind of phase out.
That's true, but I don't know. This whole Switch launch just seems like a change of a lot of attitudes that were there before, and they've got that new president now too after Iwata died.
Yeah.
So maybe he's pushing them in a different direction. That
I would also like to see if they announce a Nintendo Land too, like a Nintendo Land for the Switch, because I really like Nintendo Land. When I have friends come over and stuff, we play Nintendo Land all the time.
If they do pack and bundle with that, that'd be a solid reason for someone to buy a Switch who hadn't picked one up yet.
Or return to WarioWare.
Yeah. They need a fun, quirky little party game. Maybe Mario Party's a big one next year.
That would be a big.
I would love for them to take the engine behind Mario Odyssey and go back to the roots of Mario Party, because I don't like how they've done the previous ones.
The last two people have been pretty cold on.
Yeah. Like where everybody hops in a car and everybody drives around the board at the exact same time. That's not a board game to me.
The 10th one, you got someone's always playing Bowser being like the jackass of the game.
Yeah.
You didn't like that?
Depends who you're playing with.
I like the premise.
If I want to play with my family,
yeah,
that's not fun.
Yeah, that's.
If I want to play against you guys, that could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I just want them to go back to like Mario's parties 1, 2, and 3, but use that new Odyssey engine because everything was beautiful and all the new characters they introduced, like the Luncheon Lab.
There'd be so many mini games you could do with those little transformation characters too, like frog races or like those little onion guys like do like a climbing challenge.
The one idea I had for them, if they decide to go back to do a Mario Party with the Odyssey engine, let us dress up our characters like they did in Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, that seems
like
it'd be easy.
I'm Mario in the Mario Maker outfit. I'm Yoshi, but Yoshi's wearing the vacuum from Luigi's Mansion.
Or Dr. Mario.
Yeah, we could all be Mario, but we're all dressed as different Marios.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Capcom having a big year coming up.
Yeah.
The Anniversary, the Arcade Edition,
Man,
Monster Hunter,
Mega Man's.
They're doing Darkstalkers?
I think I saw Darkstalkers.
3's already come out.
Well,
maybe it was on the Switch that it was coming out.
It's re-release.
They got the Mega Man's coming out because they got Mega Man 11 and then all of Mega Man X.
Yeah, the X
unconfirmed
collection.
if it is a collection or single releases, but at least they're all coming out.
Yeah. Which, if you haven't played, you should play the first 4 at least.
Oh, I was Darksiders.
Hey! I grew up playing X5 and XX, so.
I'm sorry. About your childhood.
Hey, I love the music in those ones.
Yeah, the music's really good in them. Yeah, that's one thing the series has usually gotten pretty good.
I can still recall a buddy of mine and I over one weekend, we did a complete X6 Zero only challenge. So I went through playing X6, unlocked Zero immediately, and went through the rest of the game only playing as Zero.
Sweet. Zero's always fun to play as.
Yeah.
Devil May Cry. HD Collections, Capcom.
Apparently that's not going to have DMC or
DMC
Devil May Cry 4, which is really bizarre.
I remember
I can see them skipping DMC, but why wouldn't you put 4 in there?
Yeah.
Well, they just had, what was last year or so, they had a re-release of Devil May Cry 4 with, like, you can play as Virgil, play as Lady, play as Trish.
Yeah.
So maybe they're thinking to themselves that maybe they don't need to include it in the package because they already released it recently.
Seems like extra value for very little work.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a weird collection at that point.
So I guess like besides games, like games I want to play, things I'm interested in 2018 is to see if Nintendo can still ride the high.
I think everyone's
2017
going to be watching them this year to see if they can follow up.
And to see like it's another big year for fighting games because 2017 had Tekken 7 and Injustice.
Yeah. And this year you got what?
Dragon
Dragon
Ball,
Ball. You got the new Street Fighter
Soul
series. You got Soul Calibur. You got the
So-
Street Fighter Anniversary.
Yeah.
Blaze Blue Cross Tag.
Blaze Blue Cross. Yeah.
So another big year for fighting games, which is really exciting. To see if Monster Hunter
Anything going on with
explodes.
Mortal Kombat lately? I haven't heard anything for a while.
10, they're still milking 10 pretty hard, and then they had Injustice, so...
But
that's never
but though, don't they usually haven't they been doing Injustice and then Mortal Kombat and then Injustice? So could we get
But I
another
don't
Mortal
think
Kombat?
we'll get Mortal Kombat for a while, because when did Mortal Kombat 10 come out? And when did Injustice 1 come out? I want to say they came out really close to each other.
I think they did. Yeah.
It was probably Injustice 1 year, then Mortal Kombat. Because Mortal Kombat, they did so much content with a K. And then Injustice coming out, and they're putting a lot of content, not with a K, into this one. So I don't think we'll get another Mortal Kombat. Like, maybe not 2018, maybe 2019. I could see another Mortal Kombat.
And the last two have been really well received, which has been a long time coming for that series. 'Cause
Yeah.
they had a dark decade pretty much.
Mortal Kombat 3, and then it was kind of like a...
4 was a little, and then it just went off the rails.
Yeah, 4 was the first 3D one. I actually played that one quite a bit for
I
Nintendo
did too,
64.
with the weapons and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we definitely have a big slew of interesting games and interesting perspectives
It's a
of
lot
stuff
of
coming up.
different genres being hit
Yeah,
this
I
year.
was just going to say that.
One other thing though that we kind of haven't really touched on, that something I'm looking forward to, is our next FanCon,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, which
'Cause-
is in May.
which will be in May. We should probably start thinking of some gamer gauntlet stuff because
Gotta get
because
nostalgia goggles, a good
yeah,
challenge
because
this
this year we had the Switch come out just at the right time. That's why
Mhm.
we introduced the Switch. But because now that we've had the Switch out for a while, it'd be interesting if we can maybe throw something in there. But I still like looking
Arms
at
Battle.
some old school stuff
Oh, yeah,
and
definitely.
see what we can use.
That's what
Because
the
I like
gamer
having the
gauntlets,
mix of
yeah.
everything. Yeah, you have different genres. You've got different decades of gaming. So like we played Combat on the big screen one year, along with
Yep.
like Marvel vs. Capcom
Yeah.
and Mario Kart and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and like it was pretty all over the place. It was really fun.
hmm So it'll be interesting to see how to develop that, and then if we get any new guest announcements or anything like that.
Yeah, try and relate some gameplay to some guests if we can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And the other thing about games coming out this year too, there's like the Shadow of the Colossus re-release,
Mhm.
the Secret of Mana re-release. There's a lot of old games
Yeah.
getting
Like,
HD
Really, really important classics. Getting like not just re-release, but like proper like remakes. Like yeah.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a video I came across this week. It was the Honest Game Trailers guys, but it was an Honest Trailers for 2017. I forgot about a game that we were talking that when we were doing our look at back for 2017. I forgot to mention Star Fox 2
Yeah.
because it was
Yeah,
on the
that
because technically speaking, it was a Super
first
Nintendo game
release, yeah,
released in
absolutely.
2017.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
I really wanted to play
So
that.
cool.
I still want to play
I
that.
still do too.
Yeah.
I haven't yet.
Looks cool.
I'll have to bring it in for you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, I'd really like to go through it. I think it'd be a lot of fun to play.
So it was just funny that I completely forgot about it, and then when I saw the trailer, oh right.
Because Star Fox and Star Fox 64, I really love those
Yeah,
games. I had a
me
lot
too.
of fun playing them. And even like I still like putting Star Fox 64 and playing it. It's a
Yeah,
fun game.
the game is so good. So good.
All right. Well, I think that does it for this episode. Look towards 2018.
Mm.
Obviously, again, to viewers and to listeners, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below.
Please
We'd
do.
be more than happy to answer your questions and to see what your guys' opinions are for what's coming up next year. What's the games that you are most excited for, and what do you think? What games do you think are going to get announced that we don't have any information about yet?
Yeah, that's a good question to ask.
Yeah.
Like, will we get some sort of surprise at Nintendo this year? Will PlayStation pull something out of something?
Capcom have a big...
Will Capcom have a decent release?
Microsoft has had some pretty terrible years in terms of new content, and they've said, I think about 6 months ago, that they were shifting a lot of focus to getting some new games. So I'm hoping they have something big this year too.
EA was releasing something too, and it'll be interesting to see. And it looks like a really cool open world-esque game. I can't remember what it was.
Anthem?
No.
Well, there is that one coming. Well, in
But it'll
development.
be interesting to see. Like, I read it last night, and I was like, oh man, that sounds really cool. So it'll be interesting to see how it's received with what they did with Star Wars. And
People forget so quick.
I don't know if that one's going to be forgotten as quick. And to see what happens with EA's Star Wars license will be interesting to see as well.
Well, that's still, with all that stupid controversy and stuff, that was still the number 2 bestseller for the month, which is really
Of course it was going to be. Like,
I think it's because
it so well.
Well,
Like,
I think it was because of the Star Wars hype.
yeah.
But it still undersold the first Battlefront in the same time frame.
Yeah.
Which is not what EA wants, obviously.
But the first Battlefront was planned to come out with
Force Awakens. Yeah.
And Force Awakens was probably more anticipated than... Like, Last Jedi had a lot of hype, but Force Awakens...
Yeah,
like,
because
this
you
is
had
the
that
first,
huge gap in time, absolutely.
So, and it was like a new story, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so... Be interested to see what happens with that. The fallout of Last Jedi.
Yeah, it's got that and Battlefront kind of weighing it down. This would be interesting.
Marvel. It's a big year for Marvel coming up.
Pretty pumped for Avengers. Yeah, I'll go see Black Panther. I'm excited,
pretty
but
pumped for
not...
Black Panther looks good.
Yeah, I'm like a
I'm
7 out of
pumped for
10
it.
on the excitement
I think
scale.
Ant-Man comes out this year, too.
Hopefully Ant-Man and Wasp.
And Ready Player One.
Ready Player
I'm
One.
really excited to go see that.
I got 2 free movie passes for Christmas, so I'm excited to use them on something.
Nice, that will be... That'll be good. I'm trying to think what else comes out.
I just want to go into Ready Player One and just like be the guy the one guy maybe who yells in there, "Yay, a Gundam!"
There'll be another one of you in the theater, and you can find each other.
Imagine me,
Air high fives,
and you and me.
Tune in for our next show. Paul sings karaoke.
Yeah, I love karaoke.
Least rated show on all of GameQuest TV.
Least rated show on all of the internet. I lost my train of thought. What I was going to say. Oh,
movies you excited
Blade
about?
Runner 2049 DVD release.
I haven't seen it yet, and we're gonna have to watch it. You're welcome to come too for that. I've only seen the original so far.
It's really good. I love that movie. Blade Runner is my favorite series. It was a banner year for Blade Runner because I picked up.
Did you see
the 2 comics that were released with the original movie in the 80s?
Do you see that amazing interview with Ryan Gosling and Harrison Ford, where they were just laughing their asses off the whole time? Yeah, that was so
Looks
funny.
like they had a lot of fun making that movie together, and they got along really well, which is interesting because apparently working with Harrison Ford on the first one
seems like a cranky old man. Yeah.
Even when he was young, Ridley Scott was like, "I'll never work with him again."
Took him 30 years to do it.
And he didn't really work with him on this one. So.
That's one thing I love doing is watching some guest stars on talk shows. If you guys want a good recommendation to look up talk shows, look up the Graham Norton Show.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's a BBC program, but what they do is they bring all the guests on the exact same time. And one that I can just think about right now because you guys are talking about Harrison Ford was they were talking to Mark Hamill about the reveal scene about, Vader being Luke's father, how they went through with that. And how they said it was when they did the initial recording of that scene, the dialogue was Obi-Wan killed your father. So that's how he reacted to it, whatnot, and everything. And then when they were getting ready to do some other stuff, and the director came into Mark Hamill's trailer, and he said that, "I'm about to share something with you that only George Lucas and I know, and we're going to tell you, and if it leaks out, we know it was you." And so they told him about the reveal about Vader being father. So Mark had to wait like a year and a half because
everything that happened,
because when they edited movies, they weren't as such quick turnaround as they are now. So you had to wait forever. And then so during the premiere, and then they had that big scene of "I am your father," and apparently Harrison Ford turned around to Mark Hamill and he's like, "Well, kid, you didn't tell me that."
There's also, what's the actor that plays Loki? Tom Hiddleston.
Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
I love him.
He did a really good one on that Graham Norton show with him and Al Pacino. Or no,
De Niro.
De Niro it's really good.
Yeah, where he was doing
his impression
of Al Pacino.
Of Al Pacino and De Niro in a scene from Heat. They're talking, and he did both characters in the scene. It was really well done because Heat's an amazing movie.
Yeah.
That was good. But lots of exciting stuff coming for 2018. Games, movies, stuff that we like to talk about. A lot of stuff coming from us. Some content. We've been teasing it.
Some hot, fresh content from the GameQuest TV machine.
Content.
I can only edit so many videos at a time, guys.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so stay tuned. Stay frosty.
And I guess to
Really
everybody,
frosty here,
a
yeah.
nice happy
Happy
2018.
New Year.
Yeah,
And a Happy New Year.
That's the little
It's the streamer blower thing.
Yeah, exactly.
What are those called?
Streamer blower things.
Streamer blower things.
That's what they're
Yeah.
called. Leave it in the
Official.
comments.
It's canon now.
Yeah, canon.
Streamer blower things.
Yeah.